Hey guys, welcome back to Love Truck Garage. Well, spring has sprung and we got to get this winter project finished up. So let's get on those brake lines. Let's go. Before we get started, I just need to hear this thing run. I don't think I started it since January, so it's overdue. I really miss driving this truck and it's been way too long. It's purring like a kitten. Alright, let's get busy. In one of my earlier videos, I was pretty happy when I picked up this vintage brake flaring tool. Little did I know. There's definitely a learning curve to this type of flaring tool, and I wasn't sure I had enough tubing to get it figured out. It's like I would make one good flare and 3 bad flares. So I decided to go a different route and spent a few bucks and picked up this tool on eBay. It was probably the best 67 bucks I've ever spent. I had never seen one priced that low and just decided to go for it. It took a week to get here, but once I had it in my hands, I was able to make beautiful flares in just the first few minutes I had it out of the box. This thing was awesome. Literally 10 minutes later, I had my first brake line done. That was something else. The tool is pretty straightforward and easy to use. Now I paid for this myself and it's not a sponsored video, but it's a great tool. It's a pretty simple 3-step operation and yeah, a caveman could do it. On operation 0, you put the tube in, just snug it down a little bit, and you use the handle to push the tube into the die to the proper depth. Then you snug it into the die real tight and release the handle. Then you rotate the head to operation 1, put a little lube on the tubing, and you push the handle until it stops, and that makes your initial flare. After that, you rotate the head to operation 2, and that'll make the second flare the inverted part of the flare. Just a little bit more lube and then you push the handle till it stops, and you're all done with that flare. The tubing kind of sticks to the dies a little bit when you first pull it out, but it comes out real easy. And just like that, you have a perfect flare. It might be a little bit blurry, but check out that flare. Damn near perfect. Now just flip it around and get the other end, and don't forget your flare nut. And there you have it, a nice copper brake line ready to install. I really can't say enough about this tool. It was a real game changer for me. 2 days after I bought it, I noticed the price had jumped back up to 95 bucks. I did use coat hangers to figure out the bends for my new brake lines. Coat hangers wound up being way harder to bend than the copper tubing, and I pretty much used them to get the right length for my tubes. I wound up doing a lot of the bending on the fly, and it was not too bad. I did have to do one line over because it wound up being just a little bit short. Here are all my templates. I did wind up using the factory passenger side line as a reference. I did run the line along the firewall just a little bit higher just to avoid the clutter. Here are the lines all installed. I didn't really film the bending up of the lines. I just kind of took my time and did one at a time and kept moving along. I did the passenger side last, and it was getting pretty easy by the time I got to that one. I wound up having about 7 or 8 feet of copper tubing left, so 25 feet was plenty for this job. And once again, this tool saved the day for me. That was money well spent. The brake pads in the rear are fairly new, but I would like to find some new rotors. I'm pretty excited about having 4-wheel disc brakes on this truck, and I'm hoping it's a real improvement in the stopping power. I can't wait to go for a cruise. Well, hey guys, we're down to bleeding the brakes now. I've done that a few times, nothing scary there. So we'll get this thing back on the road real soon, and we'll move on to another project. I do appreciate you watching, and please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. And don't forget, t-shirts, hoodies, and trucker hats at lovetruckgarage.com.